ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
Well, it's time to get your Monday kicked off right as you drive home. Welcome in, Paul Swann, your host here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm glad to be with you. We're going to talk, of course, about Marshall basketball this hour, and I want to hear from you. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Where are we at now after we've spent a couple of days with this Marshall loss, the men losing to App State over the weekend? 58 points is all Marshall could manage, and App State escapes with that 65-58 victory over the Thundering Herd. And then the Marshall women dropped 99 on ULM. ULM made it interesting. That's a good team. So Marshall got a good win over, I think, a quality Sun Belt opponent, 99-90. We're going to hear a little bit more about that game and looking ahead. Kim Caldwell, her presser was earlier today. I was over there at the Henderson Center, so we'll hear some select cuts from that. Also, we'll hear from Dan D'Antoni, some select cuts from his postgame. Where do we begin, though? First of all, I think the thing we have to talk about here is Marshall's put itself in a position where we don't know where Marshall's going to be. If Marshall can get one of these next two games, I think we're good as far as not playing on the first day. I don't think we have to worry about that. Now, if Marshall loses the next two, Marshall could be playing on that first day. And I don't think we want that for the Thundering Herd. 8-9 spot, I think you'll be okay. I don't think you're going very far up. You're trying to maintain not falling down. That's where we're at right now with the Thundering Herd. I didn't think it would get to that. But there are some positives we can take away from this game. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but I think we can take some positives. First of all, I was happy with Kerfman's performance, 8 of 19, but 1 of 8 from the three-point line. I mean, he knows how to shoot. It's just not going right now in that three-point shot. And you know how the offense is structured. This is how this team is built. They shoot threes. 3 of 23. He was at one point 0 for the last couple of games from the three-point line, so he broke that streak. 19 points, 2-2 from the free throw line. So we're going to hear from him tomorrow, but I think he gets a little bit too much of the blame. This is an offense that is built to shoot the three-point shot. I mean, he can't just go in and shoot a jumper in the paint unless it's there and that's the only shot. This is not how this team operates. Dan has said in a previous postgame, and he's also said at times in other pressers, three-point shots, layups, free throws. That's primarily how this team is built to score. Layups, three-point shots, and the free throw line. I don't think anyone's going to stop and take a jumper inside the paint. Jumper right before you hit, you're going to step back. No, I'll just take you from behind the three. I think that's part of it. And Dan, when we hear him later today, he talked about how some of these shots, they were good looks. They just didn't go in. The Herd shot 24 of 73. They're getting shots. They're just not making shots. And obviously, that's big deal here. You can get all the shots you want. They can be good. If they're not going in, you're not going to win too many ball games. Marshall, in that game, shot 32.9%. They were 3 of 23, as I mentioned, from the three-point line. 2 of 10 in that first half, 1 of 13 in the second half. 24 of 73 for the game. App State wasn't much better, 22 of 58. They took less shots. They were 37.9, I apologize, 37.9% from the field. They were abysmal in that first half. That's what kept Marshall in the game. 9 of 31 shooting in the first half for App State. 3 of 11 from the three-point line. They got a little bit better. Second half, they shot 48%. 4 of 8 from the three-point line, 12 of 15 from the free throw line. That really helped them, and they were 13 of 27. Kevon Voiles had a good game again, 8 of 16. Jacob Connor, 1 of 12. That's tough. 1 of 12. Obina Anachili-Killen starting to inch back up. 8 points, 4 of 9. And then we can talk about Nate Martin, 5 points but 14 rebounds. All right, you're not getting it done offensively, but you're pulling down rebounds. 9 of them were defensive. Wyatt Fricks had a couple of points. Cameron Crawford out there 0 of 3 from the field. 2 of them were 3-point shots. He ended up with 3 points because he went 3 of 4 from the free throw line. So there's some things this team's got to work on. Points in the paint, actually, they outscored App in the paint 36-26. Points off turnovers, 10-9 in favor of App, so that really wasn't a difference maker there. Second chance points, 14-12 in favor of App, not a difference maker there. Fast break was a little bit better, 6 points for the Herd there, kept App to 0. Bench points, well, that's not a stat that Marshall's going to win too often. I don't think, anyway. Miles Tate had 25 points. Donovan Gregory for App had 15. Terrence Harcum had 12. That was where the majority of the scoring was coming from App State. But there were some opportunities. Marshall made runs. App made runs. At halftime, Marshall led 29-23. So Marshall goes in with a lead at home. Then Kim Caldwell's team shows up. Everyone's happy. We'll hear more from Kim later. And then the Herd second half just couldn't get it done. And you shoot 1 of 13 in that second half from the three-point line, and here you are. That's why you got outscored 42-29, because you couldn't get that shot to go down. That's an easy one to point out why. Is it easy to fix? That's the big question here. Of course, the Herd didn't make it to the free throw line very often as well. I mean, let's be honest. 12 of 15 in that second half for App State. Only 4 of 6 for the Thundering Herd in that second half. Marshall didn't get to the line very often. So where are you at now with this team? We got a couple games to go. The Herd's going to be on the road. Dan D'Antoni show's coming up tonight, and then this team's going to make its way to the state of Georgia, try to get a couple of wins before the team comes back here, and then depending on how the schedule works out, what happens on the road, Marshall will have to go quickly or maybe have an extra day, because you don't want to play on that first day, and that's what Marshall's trying to avoid right now, playing on the first day. I don't think you can make a run. You get in. Everybody gets in. That's the great thing, and anybody can win the tournament. That's true, but you're going to have to go out and get on a run, get hot. And if Marshall can't get a couple of wins going into the tournament, and I know Dan doesn't believe in momentum. He was asked about that earlier today, and he kind of shrugged it off a little bit. He joked around with the question, like, hey, you don't remember? I kind of don't. That's not a thing. I don't talk about that. I mean, I don't know what that is. But we'll get his true response to that later. And, of course, I want to hear from you. Our text line, one more time, it's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We'll also hear from Kim Caldwell. Thundering Herd clinching a share of the conference regular season title. Herd got that done, 99-90. Then Kim Caldwell's team gets back in time to be at the game, and that was huge. And hopefully on Tuesday night, there's a big crowd on hand to support this team, to watch Marshall hopefully clinch outright the regular season championship. Not share it, clinch it. It's all Marshall. There's no co-champion involved here. No question, the number one seed. And then if Marshall's the number one seed, Marshall's playing first game every day. That's what you want. You know what your schedule is. You're set. You're ready to go. Now, hopefully, Marshall can get them both. You'd hate to see Marshall win on the last day to clinch that thing. And you hate to see Marshall lose on the last day of the regular season going in. But Kim talked about that. And we'll hear about that. And it wouldn't be the end of the world. That's not what she wants, but it's not the end of the world if Marshall would split or lose one heading into the tournament. So she's got her point of view on that. We'll share that with you when we continue. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everyone being part of today's edition of the show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Working Man Store in Huntington. Check out the biggest inventory of scrubs in West Virginia, featuring brands such as Healing Hands, Dickies, Cherokee, and Med Couture at the best price. Working Man Store has one of the largest selections of big and tall shirts, jackets, and jeans in the area. Working Man Store is the king of blue jeans with Levi's, Dickies, Carhartt, Lee, and Wranglers in sizes up to 72. And Working Man Store has the best selection of men's work boots and casual shoes anywhere at the best price. Working Man Store, open every day at 140 5th Avenue, Huntington.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Glockner's Too Easy initiative has returned for 2024. We're making it too easy to get more for your trade with our biggest cash offers. We pay more. Too easy to save time because Glockner has the fastest, most transparent 5-star shopping experience around. Too easy to find the vehicle perfect for you as Glockner has the area's biggest pre-owned inventory. That's why it's too easy to buy a car at Glockner.
We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Plum Tickle Boutique and Rise and Grind Food Truck, located at 604 Bellefonte Road in Westwood, gives you a great shopping experience with unique items and delicious food all in one location. Stop by Plum Tickle Boutique and Rise and Grind Food Truck in Westwood.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're going to hear from Kim Caldwell later on as the women play host to Georgia State tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Sun Belt Conference regular season title outright on the line. I think we're going to be there tomorrow doing the show, by the way. If you get a chance, come say hi. Why not? We're going to take the show on the road. It's an excuse to get me out of here. So I'll be there tomorrow. I think Bill Cornwell is going to stop by as well. And we're going to do the show tomorrow from the Henderson Center. So I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping we get a big crowd tomorrow. I saw earlier on social media, and I was told that a lot of the football team's going to be on hand to support this women's basketball squad. That's cool. I like to see that. I'd like to see more of that. I know a lot of the other sports are already there doing that. I know volleyball's at a lot of events, and anytime that there's crossover opportunities, you'll see the coaches bring their teams when they can. But the football team's going to be there. Coach Huff making a big deal about that, so that was cool to see earlier today. And the women have an opportunity. Bring home the regular season title. That would be cool to see that. It hasn't happened in a long time for Marshall basketball. I'm sure a lot of you probably don't even remember the last time Marshall clinched a regular season championship. Not like a division title, but an actual regular season. We're on top. We are the champs, not the champs of this half, the champs, regular season. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. But we'll talk more about the women coming up, and we'll get your text in 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our number to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's hear from Dan D'Antoni before we hear from you. Dan, earlier today, talking about how this team is in a slump, and that's how he began his presser earlier this afternoon.
Well, obviously we're in a little bit of a slump. We just got to get out of the shooting part of it. What I was happy about, especially against Appy State, defensively, we were really good. 37%, hold them 37-32. That's a winnable game. Should be a win game. So we just got to shoot better. You know, I don't have any real solutions. It's just confidence and letting it go. And sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes, you know. And right now we're in a go. We need to make it on a come. But I like the way we play defense. If we stay that alert, stay that aggressive, then it'll give us a chance at every game, and then hopefully we can make shots. Going to Georgia, going to get me a peach pie and enjoy it down there. But hopefully we'll get a couple of wins. You know, they're playing about where we are, so every team's trying to get good to be in the tournament in the best place. So it's going to be 2 tough games. We got to go down there and see what we can do. Get ready for the 3 games that are the most important this season, and that is the tournament.
Tournament is important. I think the regular season is important as well. It's all important. I think the regular season informs the tournament. You can get hot. There are teams that get hot, upset the favorite or one of the sure bet teams, and they get into March Madness, and we love that, right? We all love that. Here's hoping that Marshall comes storming back, gets into the tournament by winning the tournament in Pensacola to get into the tournament. And we'll love Marshall. Marshall will be that Cinderella. That's what we're looking for. But the reality here is that Marshall's, as Dan mentioned, in a slump right now, and you don't want to go down to the tournament losing 7 straight. I believe in momentum. It's not tangible. You can't put your arms around it and bottle it up. You can't open it up, put it in the fridge, pour it on ice, have it cold, chilled, ready to go. I just can't open up a can of momentum when I want to. But I think it plays into the mental aspect of the game. I think it plays into how you approach. You get it. When you win, everything's better. When we're winning, life is better, right? I mean, when you're losing, disposition. But Dan talked about that. He was asked about momentum, and he played a little bit with it. He joked that, hey, you haven't been paying attention here. We're not, we're not talking about momentum. Momentum's not a thing. What is that, really? So he kind of had some fun with the question, and then he settled down a little bit and talked about what he thinks it really is when it comes to why this team is having difficulties and in a slump.
It's more confidence than it is anything else, and just getting a little flow and letting it go. You got to see it go down sometimes, and even with confidence, sometimes you don't it just doesn't go down sometimes. I've seen a lot of players get into that mode. So hopefully we're going to snap out of it though at the right time and start knocking down some shots. If we get up above 45, 50% field goal percentage, get our threes up to 35, it's very doable for this team, then defensively we're going to win. We'll win some games, and hopefully we put three together.
So the D's there. In his mind, the D's there. Just got to get those shots to fall. And then we just go back to what happened. Held Appy to 65 points. So Appy didn't blow Thundering Herd out. That's the good thing. Marshall, though, only managed 58 points. Appy shot 9 of 31 in that first half. How much was that of Appy's doing, and how much of that was Marshall forcing some bad looks and making it difficult? App was 3 of 11 from the three-point line in the first half. 9 of 31. They were not good across the board. Second half, they got it together and shot almost 50%. For the Thundering Herd, 32.9%. 32% in the first half, 33% in the second half. One shot difference. They took one less shot in the second than they did the first. But it goes back to, where's the problem at? Well, the problem is 2 of 10 from the three-point line in that first half, 20%. The second half, 1 of 13 from the three-point line, 8%. 3 of 23. And this is how this team is built. You live by this three-point line. You die by this three-point line. Now, of the 73 shots, 23 of them were from the three. So that leaves you with 50 shots. Of the 50 shots that were not three-pointers, Marshall made 21. So 21 of 50 non-three-point shots. 21 of 50. Maybe if you hit a few more of those, maybe you go for some of those. And again, you're not going to see this team change philosophically at this moment. So how do you get out of this? It's going to have to be getting three-point shots. You're going to have to get the three-point shot going again. If you don't, then it's going to be a quick trip to Pensacola. And we don't want that for the Thundering Herd, do we? We absolutely don't want that for the Thundering Herd. We want the Thundering Herd to get it going. And part of it is momentum or whatever, lack of confidence. And it's just trying to find that shot. And Dan's confident, though, that it's there. They haven't forgot how to shoot it. And he is happy with the way that this team is focusing. This was a better effort. It was a loss, but it was a better effort than that James Madison game where I don't know what they were doing. They weren't even on the court, it felt like. And Dan talked a little bit about that, talked about the focus, talked about where this team is at. He's confident right now in where this team's at.
No, everything is really, we've had a few moments defensively that we've taken, our focus hadn't quite been there. But, it was all there against Appy. We had a few mistakes right at the end. We didn't see the mismatch from our wing one time and got backdoored on about the third shot. We should have had the rebound. And then we missed our 2 shots at the other end to stay even, and the game's over. So we're right there. We hit the shots and a couple of lapses defensively. But overall, I think we charted our first 62 shots. 50 of them were basically quality shots. Now, we probably hit maybe, instead of hitting a quality shot, hitting about 45, 50% of those, we didn't do it, 12 contested shots, tough shots, which you may hit 3 of those, But 50 of them, you should be around 23, 24. We were like 12. It can't be that way. On the opposite end, we looked at theirs, and they were 30 kind of quality shots, 24 tough shots that they hit about 50% of. So, we got to make some shots, and it all comes down to that. I mean, it's as simple as that. So we'll see. These young men will keep plugging. We'll see what happens.
Dan D'Antoni, his thoughts on everything going into the tournament. Marshall getting set to go on the road, takes on Georgia Southern Wednesday, 6 o'clock airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And don't forget tonight, the Dan D'Antoni Show, 7:05 right here. Again, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog. Before we hit the text line, I will leave one more Dan quote with you. And this is just a look ahead to the upcoming matchup. Get Dan's thoughts on Georgia Southern, starting with them on Wednesday.
3-point shooting, their guards hurt us with the mismatches a little bit out front, but we've gotten better. Our bigs have gotten down a little bit. They're capable. As you saw Wyatt Fricks, I think it was one possession. They came off a little, the 12, I think it's 12 that shot it so well. He came off of there, White got right up into him, 6'9", chased him out, cut him off again, got up into him. They're all capable of doing that. And they just have to understand it's going to come down to that little mismatch. Are they going to get up into those guards and not give them room? Sometimes the bigs like to give them room when they want to play their length, but these guards are quick. You got to get up there and get them before they start. And they do have a big man who'll rip you at the elbow, and you got to get up on him so that he doesn't get any momentum and knock you back. So, again, I like our defense. I liked our focus. Our kids have not quit whatsoever. They have not quit. And I appreciate our crowd. It was a final day. Our crowd was great. Felt a great atmosphere of basketball and a good game, a very, very competitive game against the number one team. So just looking forward, keeping our heads up, go to the next game.
All right, Herd fans, keep your heads up. When we continue, we'll hear from you on the text line, 304-396-TALK, and we'll hear from the coach herself, Kim Caldwell. Big win against ULM, 99-90 on Saturday. Now needs one more win. The magic number is 1. Needs a Troy loss or just a Herd win to clinch outright the regular season title already. The Herd has a share of it, so they're conference champions. It's just, do they want to share that, or do they just want to be the champion by themselves? We'll find out how bad they want it. That's coming up tomorrow. We'll hear from Kim Caldwell coming up next, and your text on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
It's happening now. Folks across the Midwest are rushing to save big money at Menards and get 11% off everything. Now that I think about it, my recording studio does need a bit of an upgrade. I better hurry up and finish this read. Hurry in to get started on those big projects and save big money with 11% off everything at Menards. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Honey, I'm heading out to Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Lavallette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555. And in Charleston, Lisa Godwin, 304-984-0000.
You know, there's something about a truck you can count on and that SUV that's been on every family vacation for a decade. TikTok Tire and Uniroyal know your truck or family car is only as reliable as the tires underneath it. And that's why Uniroyal made the Laredo AT Tire and HT Tire to be the tires you trust. You know, like you trust your truck, your SUV, or TikTok Tire. Uniroyal Laredo AT and Laredo HT. See where 130 years of value takes you. For more information, stop into TikTok Tire, 2102 3rd Avenue, Huntington, right across from the stadium, or call 304-525-7831.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
I am Miss West Virginia USA, future doctor.
And I am Miss West Virginia America, future educator.
We are partnering with the West Virginia Department of Education as ambassadors for learning.
By supporting the department's Ready, Read, Write Literacy Initiative
and the Unite with Numeracy Mathematics Initiative, we will increase student learning.
We must do this together.
Because teachers can't do this alone.
For resources and more information, visit wvde.us.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I got a text a couple of days ago, asked if I could be replaced by AI. And my response to that was, how do you know I'm not already AI? Maybe I am AI. Maybe you don't know. Maybe I've already been replaced by AI. I got another text about that. I love you guys. Texture says, Paul, AI will never be able to handle upset fans. Is that Paul? AI will never be able to handle upset fans, or is it Paul AI? Either way, Texture says, my job is safe. That I and the coaching staff, the fans, we all need to take vitamins and supplements to get through this season healthy. Yes, we do. I worry about our health every single day. We need to take vitamins. We need to take supplements. We need to exercise a lot more. Get outside. It's beautiful outside today. I don't know if you had a chance to spend a few minutes outside. Take advantage of it. It's beautiful outside. To the text line we go. Texter says, Paul, the guys played a good game, just needed a few more shots to fall against a solid but not unbeatable Appalachian State team. The gals showed they wouldn't back down or be bullied in a physical game. Completely agree with that. The women did not back down. I don't think they know how to back down. And that's where we start today with Kim Caldwell and her presser. Earlier today at the Henderson Center, coach ready to go, and she knows what's at stake. She's taking that pressure on herself. She's bearing that, but at the same time, she knows that the team understands. This isn't something that they've sheltered this team from. She knows the team knows what's at stake here. You win on Tuesday, you're the regular season champion. You're not the co-camp champion. You're the regular season champ. And Kim, I think, likes it that this team has something to play for, and they know what's at stake here.
I think that they know what's at stake. I think it's nice to have a little motivation at this point in the year. We got to see how we play with pressure going into the tournament, and so they know what they're playing for. We want to be able to finish what we started this week at home.
So, Coach Caldwell going all Cody Rhodes here and wanting to finish the story. Look, she said it the other day, if you didn't catch it. She said, we don't want to share. We are greedy. We want to win it all. That was the gist of her comments. We want to win it all. We want to win the regular season championship. We don't want to be the co-champs. We want to be the outright champs. And all Marshall has to do is win one. Win it tomorrow. You're the champ. Then you can get ready for the tournament. Now, it would be better if this team wins both of its final games. But Coach talked a little bit about just trying to be, again, that momentum word. The momentum comes up, having that energy, having that momentum, going to the tournament on a positive note, winning streak. Kim was quite candid. They want to win, but if Marshall would lose one of the next two, it would not be the end of the world for the Thundering Herd, and she knows how to play it. If Marshall wins, she knows how to play it. If Marshall would lose one of these next two, she has a good idea how to play it as well.
Absolutely. You want to win too, but it does not hurt you to kind of get humbled going into the tournament. You don't want that. You don't ever want to lose on senior day. You don't ever want to lose a championship when you're so close to it. But again, I think after our JMU loss, we got a lot better really quickly. And so sometimes getting that humbling loss going into postseason play is not the worst thing. It doesn't feel great, but sometimes it will help you in the long run.
I appreciate that, Coach, but I don't want this team losing. She wants to win too. She's not planning on tanking just to humble this team. But that's a good point. Some coaches, they know how to use this. If Marshall would lose and get humble a little bit, she can find a way to teach from it, to coach from it. And some coaches, they'll tell you that they don't learn anything from a loss. I didn't learn anything. Didn't teach me anything. I think Doc Holliday would say that sometimes. That was one of the things I did disagree with Doc a lot on, when you would say, hey, what'd you learn from the loss? The typical broadcaster question we all ask. Coach, what'd you learn from this loss? What did the loss teach you? What can you take away from the loss? And Doc would say, I can't take anything away from this. Coach is probably chopping up the film. See, this is what you did. I told you. See? We told you. Listen to us now. I like her. I like her as a coach. She's been as advertised. Win, lose, or draw these next few games, she's been as advertised, and the program is getting a lot of attention. And that's something that she's happy for. The team is getting a lot of attention, and she's happy for this team because she really is trying to build something here with the program. She's not trying to win and just win. Okay, we won. She's trying to build something to win, sustain success. And she mentioned that attention that we just mentioned to you that this team is getting. And she's happy for it because this team deserves it, and she thinks this team has earned it.
I think it's exciting for them. You have a group that is building something, and we talked early on, maybe in the fall, maybe in the summer, about they are building something for the teams that come after them, right? And young people don't really necessarily see very far outside of themselves, but they are building this program for people that are still in high school. They are the foundational team. And the notoriety that we get on social media and the articles that are written and the fans that are now coming to games, all of that, it's because of them. And they are building that, and they are the team one. They're the team that is doing that. And so I think all of that is stuff you kind of have to take with a grain of salt. You don't ever want to get too high, but you need to let them enjoy it because their hard work is what's doing that.
You imagine you got to recruit someone and you say, look, we just played ULM. They have 1,201 reported people in attendance. You look at that game on TV, watch the stream, and you see it's pretty empty. Now, come to Huntington, and you'll play in front of someone. There are fans here. There are a lot more fans here. The building's loud. The fans are into it. The community's behind you. You're not just another team. You're a part of Marshall University, and the fans are reacting to that, and they're positive, and they love a winner. We're building a winner here. Come join us. And you can point to the reaction the team got on Saturday. You remember? If you were at the game, I looked down from the lofty perch that the media sit atop the court and saw the team just come out. The women were back from their road trip. And in wrestling terms, they got a huge pop. And she talked about that response that this team got, not just at the game, but before they came out, from people when they came back, seeing them, congratulating them. That's something that you're looking for, you're trying to build with this program, and they got a huge pop.
It was awesome. It was really, really cool that we could pull it off and we could be back, and everyone was excited. And even not the reception itself, but when we were walking around, how many people said, "Congratulations, you're great. We'll see you Tuesday." It's amazing. We would love to have a crowd like that on Tuesday. We'd love to have a crowd like that on Friday. I think we've earned it. I think we deserve it. I know that you don't get a chance to witness championships very often. So while you have the opportunity, let's do it. And let's do it right for the seniors that are left on this team.
Show up Tuesday. Let's see this herd win a championship. That's what she's saying. I'm with her. Let's see this herd win a championship, a regular season championship, and then win again on Friday. Friday's going to be a busy sports day. We'll address that later in the week, but that's going to be a busy sports day. Where will you be putting your time and energy on this sports spectacular Friday that's coming up? There's a lot to choose from. Baseball, basketball, where will you be spending that? Softball. There's a lot going on. Soccer, I believe, got a spring game as well. A lot going on. That's Kim Caldwell. One more from her. Actually, I'll tell you what. I got a couple more from her. I want to save those. We'll get those on the other side of our break, and we will. Get your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texture says, Paul, enjoyed Friday listening to Kylie. Only the best of luck to her. Yeah, go back and check that out if you haven't already. It's on Friday's podcast. Kylie Maston, she won the mile. And she's fun. She is a social media influencer. She's on TikTok. I checked out some of her videos. They're fun. She's having a good time. Really motivational about running. I believe Abby Herring even told me that she, because of her social media, has generated attention for Marshall University, and that there at least is maybe one or two athletes that are at Marshall now because they found her or they followed her on TikTok and wanted to come to Marshall. That's pretty cool. So if you haven't listened to that interview, go back, catch it on the Friday show. It was fun. I had never talked to her before, so I didn't know what to expect going into this, and she's fun. I look forward to the next time we can bring her on and talk to her. Those are some fantastic student athletes that Marshall has right now on the track and field team. When we continue, a little bit more from Kim Caldwell, but I want to hear from you. 304-396-TALK. Paul Swann, your host on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 at AM 930.
Hey, Tri-State. Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because
Your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Coming up tonight, 7:05, you can listen to the Dan D'Antoni Show. It's also going to be on 93.7 The Dog. You can hear from the man himself, talk about the upcoming road trip. I think this is the final regular season, and I'm not sure what we're going to do in the postseason, but I think this is it. So it's the final Dan D'Antoni Show, to my recollection. You can tune into it tonight, 7:05, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Couple more from Coach Caldwell. We're talking about the Marshall win over ULM, 99-90. And, of course, looking ahead, and the Thundering Herd, they were challenged. That third, here's the thing. If you didn't follow along, Marshall got outscored in the first, 32-17. And then Marshall turned the tables right back on ULM, outscored them 30-17, went into the second half, outscored them 32-18, and then held on a little bit. It was pretty even for the fourth, but the Thundering Herd put it away early and then just held on. Coach just talked about that. Okay, I like it better if we're going to have that lull, let's do it early, and then I have to wait for the lull if they do well. She kind of got a rhythm that she's gotten into as far as this team is concerned. But the game coming up tomorrow at the Henderson Center should be a fun one, featuring Thundering Herd and Georgia State. She was asked if she learned anything. Remember when we talked about coaches that don't acknowledge if you lose anything, if you lose, you don't learn anything. Well, Coach hasn't had that many losses, but she was honest. What she learned about these two teams the first time around, and she understands that they're not necessarily the same team that the Herd faced the first time.
It feels like forever ago, or really early in the year when we played Georgia State. And so I want to show them a different team, but they're definitely a different team. I think they're third or fourth in the league right now, playing very, very well. We had Mo at 100% when we were playing that game, and so it's going to be a different game for sure. And I think both of us are much improved, so it's basically a brand new scout.
Brand new scout. I was curious, anything you're going to try to do different? Do you have time? You're going to maybe give them a different look now that they've seen you, now that most teams have seen you, are you going to give them a different look? Any changes? The most Kim Caldwell answer of the day, I think.
Yeah, no, we're just going to be us. We played the two teams last week that were new, and that was kind of nice, kind of refreshing. We played this team again, I don't know how many weeks ago, but quite some time ago, we're a different team without Mo than we were with her, so it's going to feel like a different game. They can adjust to us.
Quote, they can adjust to us. Kim Caldwell. It's worked. She's got this team on the verge of a outright regular season championship in the Sun Belt. Trophy's going to look nice. You know they've got that trophy display, our latest Sun Belt trophy. Get that regular season one, put that right there. It won't last very long. Get that Sun Belt tournament trophy, put that right there. Do you double display them just in case? If Marshall wins both the men's and women's tournament, do you double display them? Wouldn't that be something? It'd be disappointing if Marshall women lost in the tournament. It wouldn't be the end of the world because I think this team's good enough to maybe get consideration. I don't know if an at-large bid is possible in the Sun Belt, but Marshall might have a good enough shot to get either consideration for the NCAA tournament or an NIT bid. NIT would be disappointing, but I would take it. Disappointing, but I would take that. The tournament, though, you want to win the tournament, get into the NCAA tournament. How exciting would that be? To see the Marshall women back in the NCAA tournament. And that might become the beginning of something that's consistent. You could see a long run if Marshall can keep this thing going. And I think the quality of basketball for the women's side and the Sun Belt is going to get better. Absolutely has to. I think it's going to get better. I don't think it's bad now, but I think it's going to get better. And hopefully Marshall can stay in front of that. And the way this team plays, the way this team goes out there, the style of play, you come to Marshall, you're playing. There's none of this, well, coach doesn't play me. I don't get to see the floor. No, you're playing. You're absolutely going to see the floor. And you're going to have to be ready to go because coach likes to change like a hockey shift. All right, next 5 up. Let's go. Change. Timeout, stoppage. All right, next 5 up. What's not to love about this style of basketball? This is fun style of basketball. And I hope that she's here for many years to come. I had this conversation with somebody in the media box. I'm like, I mean, she might be a hot ticket here in the next few years. There might be a bigger school come a-calling, and I hope Marshall can keep her and give her what she needs and she wants to stay here. And conversation was, well, why would she want to go somewhere else to a bigger school, bigger problems? And I'm like, well, that's a good point. But at the same time, their challenge and opportunity is always attractive. So you want to make sure that you're making your situation the best it possibly can be and give her an opportunity to win and find a way to retain her. Because bigger schools are going to see the success. If this is consistent, this isn't just a one-year thing. You see some consistent success from her, she's going to be a highly sought-after coach. Now, the challenge here is give her everything she needs and wants to keep her here and let her build the program here, turn Marshall into the destination instead of the stepping stone. That would be cool, especially in women's basketball, which is getting a lot more attention these days. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. I am grateful you were here. I'll be back with you tomorrow. We get a full day these next few. We get Marshall basketball at the Cam tomorrow. The women, we're going to be there. We're going to do the show from there. That's exciting. And then Wednesday, we've got the men on the road. We got baseball coming up on Friday. I think the only day we can maybe take a breather is Thursday. Looking forward to it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Transmitting on Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.